Hey guys, what's up? It's Tot. So today you are in my bedroom. We are in a very personal setting because this is a very personal video to me. So let me just start off with some disclaimers. One, this video is very hard for me to make. I just, it's very personal to me. So please be nice. Two, this is just my situation, my circumstance, my story. I know other people have different stories. I know other people aren't even, blessed with the opportunity to go to school. And I am very grateful with all that life has given me. But I just wanted to share my story. And three, yeah, I guess I get this question all the time when people find out that I've dropped out of college. It's either, state of shock or just judgment and disappointment. Those are the two faces I get. Two faces! Those are the two faces I get. So I wanted to clarify everything, make it into one huge video so that I never have to answer this question again. And yeah, this is going to be on the internet forever, so I'm really nervous, if you can tell. I'm having a lot of anxiety right now. Like, my anxiety is going off the walls. I think I need my fidget spinner. I'll be right back. Okay, these actually really do help with anxiety. So yeah, they're not just a toy. They're not just a meme. They actually really do help. Okay, so let's get started. I wrote everything down. I've made an outline because my thoughts usually get jumbled and I usually stutter a lot and I get like excitable. So I felt like making an outline. I don't know why I'm justifying making an outline. This is just, okay, you know what? I'm freaking nervous. This is such a personal topic for me and I haven't really talked about it with anyone. Obviously, like, some people, but like not really like in depth like this before. I usually had just like generic, I was looking at the viewfinder the whole time. I am so sorry. I've usually just had generic answers to this question, like, why did you drop out of school? Are you like stupid or something? So here is my in-depth response. This video is going to be breaking down into 3 parts, 3 different videos. Why do I keep doing 3 different videos? So the first video will be why I dropped out of college. The second video will be like why I entered myself into rehab. And then the third video will be a surprise. So if you want to see the other videos, just make sure you subscribe before you leave. Hit that button down. It is right here. Yes, it's right here. Yeah. And yeah, this is the first video. Hopefully I will get a little bit less nervous. This intro is so far 4 minutes long, so I have a lot of editing to do already. So let's just get started. I have why I dropped out of college broken down into 4 parts. So I'm going to talk about each of the 4 parts and then hopefully you'll understand. And hopefully I'll help someone if they're in the same circumstances I am, or if you're struggling in school. Hopefully this, is a little reminder that you're really never truly alone. There's always someone out there, even if they're on the internet, that feels exactly like you do. Okay, so first of all, the school I went to, I'm not going to say the school just because if someone's thinking about going to school, I don't want my circumstance to possibly determine whether or not you choose this school, because everyone's different. But this school I chose this school because it was 2 hours away from my home, and I thought that that was not too far, but like far enough for me to feel like I was alone. Mind you, before this, I've never really done anything independent-wise. Like, I haven't really, done public transportation by myself, haven't really, like, going out on, adventures, like, anything really by myself. So, doing that, dorming 2 hours away from home, and just being away from my family, and it was a really hot and cold kind of adjustment for me, and it was hard for me to transition And it, oh crap, what the fuck? That could have ripped my fucking earlobe. It was really, it was really hard for me to adjust in such a different setting because I've never had that before. Like, obviously I've stayed at my grandparents' house or like a cousin's house for like a weekend a week, but that was still family. That was still what I knew. That's what I knew. So going through such a big change in my life like that, out of like nowhere almost, it was really hard. So that was definitely something I should have considered. Maybe if like I went to a school that was like really close to home and I just commuted, it would have been easier for me. Maybe I would have had a different, situation. Maybe I'd still be there. But that's not what happened. So yeah. And then atmosphere. The atmosphere of the school, mind you, I visited a lot of colleges during my junior year of high school and then some in senior year of high school. And maybe let me stress to you guys that are still in high school how important it is to visit every single school that you're applying to if you can. So like if the school is like in California and you live like on the East Coast and you don't have the money to travel, make sure you really, really do research on the school and like what it's like and like how people, not just like what's on the school's website, but like Google it or like YouTube it, see how it's like, see what the the campus looks like, the surrounding parts of the campus, because you're gonna be living there. You're gonna be living there. So if you don't like it, like that sucks. I didn't have the chance to visit my school because my parents were always working. It was so far away. I didn't have a car. Taking public transportation for me now, it would be so difficult that it's just not even worth the stress. You know what I mean? So Uber wasn't a thing back then. So, it wasn't something I did. So I didn't visit the school before I got there. So by the time I was at the school, and if I didn't like something, I had to just suck it up because I already paid $26,000. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money. And I'm taking out like a Fed loan. I was taking out a Stafford loan. I didn't get any financial aid from the school. So I had to do the best I could with what I had. And that was just the school that I signed up for. So it sucked, but I mean, like, yeah, it just sucked. So I had 3 roommates. Not 3 roommates, sorry. There's 3 of us in one room. And the room is meant for 2 people. So it's just already like, it's already a tiny situation. And we're all moving in at the same time. It's hard. The surrounding area of the school was very, how do I put this? Dangerous. So it was just like, we had like a police, almost like an Amber Alert, like every other freaking week. Not every other week, like every other Friday. Not like every single other day there was an Amber Alert about someone getting shot or stabbed. It was a little nerve-wracking. And the parents got the alerts too, just in case. And like my mom was always like, are you okay? And then inside the school, like the actual atmosphere, like with the students and stuff, I felt personally, in my opinion, that it was just a little bit cliquey. Like, like it was a huge, like it was like a low-key Greek school. So like I feel like I had to either, join a sorority or like I really wouldn't have any friends. The groups that were in the school didn't really interest me. Like, the clubs and organizations, they didn't really interest me. So I feel like I felt like everyone's a sorority. Like, I still have friends there that are in a sorority together. And I was never like that kind of person. Even though I was in Girl Scouts and I loved Girl Scouts. I don't know. It was a predominantly Caucasian school, which I didn't know at first. So me being Hispanic, the Hispanics that were at the school only spoke Spanish. Like they barely spoke English. And I am unfortunately not fluent in Spanish and English. I'm learning, but I'm not fluent. So, and then all the minorities had their separate cliques. Like they stayed with their minority. And then it was just hard. It was hard for me to make that adjustment. Where I live, the town is very diverse. So I grew up with every single race. So it it wasn't really like that. Like, even if you had a clique, the clique probably had like every single race possible. So going from that to like seeing like just a predominantly Caucasian like school, it was like, it was hard. And people don't talk about that a lot, but like, you know, culture wise, everyone's very different. So I never, so obviously I didn't care about that before, but going to people cared. It was just hard for me to adjust. That atmosphere was, it was really different for me. If you watch my paranormal video, I'll leave right here in the eye. You know that I deal with a lot of paranormal experience. I have paranormal abilities. So me, I think, I don't know what I am yet. Just listen to the story. Okay, so I, you know, energies and vibes and auras, I deal a lot with that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I always had like a negative vibe, a negative energy, and when I feel negative energies and vibrations, it's really hard for me to deal with my own problems because the negative energy is so consuming. So it was really hard. It was just hard for me to like live day to day. It was really bad. Okay, so I came into school and I was going to be a bio major. At the time, I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian. Now, some schools do have some schools do have a veterinary program, but the school that I was in did not, so I had to be a bio major basically. So I am not good with math. Like, math and science are still are my worst subjects. It takes a lot for me and I learn differently. And the regular school system, academic wise, I had to bust my ass to get good grades. So in school, in high school, when I did get good grades, you know when your hair looks whack and you just look in the mirror and you see it and you can't think of anything else? That's me right now. Sorry. Sorry about it. Okay, so basically, they're my worst subjects. Long story short. So I had a really hard time, like, yeah, it was really hard. Even the tutors I had, like, I remember I had this one tutor for chem, and she was so frustrated with me. She was like, "Are you stupid?" And I was like, "I'm sorry." And yeah, I'm looking at my outline. It was really hard. The advising center at the school wasn't helpful to me as much as I would like. I remember crying to my advisor, begging her to drop me from chem because I just felt so idiotic in that class. And I like to think of myself as an educated person. I like to think of myself as intelligent. So being placed in that situation, I was shook, basically. If you want to, like, talk about it, like, and, you know, the tutors weren't helpful to me, and nothing was helpful to me. I wasn't understanding, and I was failing. And failure is something I've had to deal with a lot with my mental illness. So it was very triggering. So I ended up switching majors into communication studies with a minor in journalism. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I still have no idea what I want to do. But it was a better switch for me. But moving into different advising center, because when you change your major, there's a different advising center for that major. They were not helpful. They were very rude. It's just, I did not like it at all. It was just, I'm not even gonna expand on that. It was just whatever. So first, this might be a personal problem, but it did affect my relationships at the school. Was, you know, I was becoming more and more depressed. So at this time, I had no idea that I had depression. I just thought it was like, you know, everyone was always sad because we were in puberty. And that's what I heard in my life. That, you know, like, oh, you're going through puberty and it's a big time in your life. Like, you're going through a lot of changes. Like, it's okay to feel like this kind of thing. So I thought the stuff I was feeling was normal. The hell was that? It wasn't. I was just really depressed all the time. Like, I couldn't get out of bed. People, like, would just, like, you know, make fun and be like, oh, it's hibernating, because I would literally sleep on Fridays after my 3-hour class at my 3-hour ADM. I would sleep the whole entire day. Like, I didn't get up to even pee, not even to get a drink of water. I would just sleep. Like, my depression was crazy. And, like, I would eat all the time, and I would go out and party, and I would just drink my life away. It was just a really bad cycle. It wasn't healthy at all. And yeah, it just really affected, and it changed me and who I was as a person. And I didn't know what to do because I never experienced anything like that before. I didn't know what to do. Like, it's not like something, you know, mental illness isn't as talked about as it should be. And so I had no idea. But that happened. I remember one time I was sick, and I needed medical attention. So I go to the, you know, whatever, the fucking doctor is. And when you do that, they have like a mandatory like depression screening. So like it's not like you can like just exit out. So it's like you write down your symptoms and how you're feeling, and then the depression screening pops up, and then they make you wait in the waiting room, and then the doctor calls you back. So I took this depression screening and got my results, and was like, you have a high risk of depression and suicide. And I was like, okay, well, fuck you. And you know, when I got to the doctor's office and they called me in after like waiting forever, she was like, before she like even gave me any attention, some other person walked in, and they both were like, you have a high risk of killing yourself. We're going to give you some pamphlets to make you feel better. And I was like, okay. And then they were just like, do you feel like killing yourself right now? And I was like, yeah, like what the hell is this shit? Like, they just handed me all these pamphlets and all these papers and packets, and it was the worst experience of my life. Like, even when I saw an actual psychiatrist, they didn't. Do you want to kill yourself? So it just made me very uncomfortable. So the next time I was sick, I refused to go to the medical center, whatever the hell it's called. It's horrible. It was one of the worst things I've ever had to go through. I was mortified. And I was embarrassed because that depression screening, you have the option to either take it to the doctor or like, you know, the psychologist, whatever. Or you have the option to keep it confidential. And I chose confidential. And it wasn't. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, that was really hard for me. Speaking of situational, I told you there's 3 people in my room. One of them, her name is Tahita. I love her with all my heart. We went through so much together. There's like no way in hell that like we couldn't be friends with the amount of stuff we went through together that year. And then I had another roommate, and I can't say her name, but long story short, we, meaning Tahita and I, did not get along with our roommate, so much so to the point where we now have a restraining order against her. It was very hard to live with her. I'm legally not allowed to talk about it, so I'm probably like breaking law right now, low-key, but I'm not divulging any information about it. But that situation was very hard. I've never actually had to deal with that. Obviously, I've had people like talk behind my back and like spread rumors and everything, but no one ever actually like stepped up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one stepped up. Okay. That was awkward. It's okay. That situation's whatever. You know, it is what it is. You know, you can't force everyone to love you. You can't force everyone to like you, and you're not going to mesh well with everyone, and that's something I've had to learn many times. But, in that school, I didn't really make a lot of friends. I mean, the friends I made are the only people I talked to from that school. Stephanie Papandrea, Lindsay Tumblr, and then Tahita Miles. I still talk to those girls. Those girls are still my girls. If you're watching this, hey girls. Those are the only friends I made at that school. 3 friends. And one was my roommate, so like, and we went through so much that it's like impossible for us not to be friends. So, yeah. I'm a kind of person where I love making friends. I love having people, you know, around, to have company with. It's like, you know, do anything with, honestly. And I've never had friends. I would love the idea of having a lot of friends, but I was never able to make a lot of friends. So I thought I had a lot of friends in high school. Obviously, I was wrong about that one. It's okay. Being away from my family and then on top of having no friends, it's really hard, because if I had like a lot of friends, it would be easier transition because I wouldn't miss my family as much. But since I had like little to no friends, like no one to hang out with, no one to just talk, no one to just kick it with, like, all the time. It made it difficult, I'm not gonna lie. It was really difficult for me to just forget, that I was away from my family, and I couldn't visit them. So, like, I didn't even get to say bye. So it was really hard. I'm gonna cry. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. I keep saying because I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. It was hard. So, and I keep playing with this stupid spinner. Yeah, that's about it. Besides, like, the actual school, like, I didn't like the food, and they didn't have, like, a lot of majors and stuff like that. At the end of my first year, I did make a vlog about it. I think it's still up. Actually, no, I deleted it. But I was so excited to go home, you guys. I was so happy to go home. And when I went home, I had a really rough summer. I was still depressed, and that's when my parents kind of noticed that, like, something was off with me, because I was never really like that. I'm sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder. I'm right here, It's hard not to look at it. It was a hard adjustment for me. So my parents actually noticed that there was, hey, there's something wrong with Taty. I dropped out. I had the option to either defer a year or drop out. And I thought about it a lot. And that school that I was in, gave me so many bad memories. I'm getting choked up. God damn it, Dot. I just decided to drop out. I thought it was best for me and my mental health to just drop out, and I wasn't mentally strong enough to go back there. And even when I have, like, the friends I mentioned, they all live south of me, so by the school. It's hard for me to go back down there because I don't know. I haven't been down there again, and I don't know if I ever would be able to. And just being in that same vicinity, and it's really hard. So I don't know if I'd ever be able to do it again. But yeah. So this was the end of part 1. This ended on a really bad note, but I swear to you, by part 3 of these videos, it will get a lot better. Yeah. So if you didn't enjoy it, I'm really sorry, bro. I'm really sorry. But I just wanted to keep it real with you guys. A lot happens in a person's life that we don't get to see because of what we choose to divulge. So what you guys see on the internet from, like, your favorite YouTubers, or, like, on Instagram, Tumblr, what have it, Snapchat, is very different from who a person actually is, and how a person actually acts, and then how a person actually perceives things in their day-to-day life. And I do get, like, a lot of comments. I get, like, I love you guys comments on stuff on my Snap, which I'll have down below, and, like, on my Instagram and stuff like that. And loving you guys, like, comment, and, like, we chat and stuff like that. But I have gotten this, like, you're perfect, oh my god, like, don't change your way you are. And I'm really not. I'm not. I mean, like, I'm a college dropout, bro, so yeah, I just wanted to share a little about my life, something that may help you, may not. I'm sorry if it doesn't. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe. When I reach 1K, I will do a big giveaway, so join the fam. Not all my videos are depressing. I have a lot of fun ones, so laters. So right here, you could choose to subscribe to me, right here. And then here, you can watch my videos. I would say subscribe first, watch the videos. Or you can watch the videos and then subscribe, but, I mean, it's up to you, but, like, no pressure. No pressure.